2.5 million burglaries happen annually in the U.S. That's one every 13 seconds. In fact, according to the FBI, you have a 150% chance of having your home burglarized in your lifetime. Now, of course, obviously people get their house burglarized a number of times, so it doesn't necessarily mean that it is 100% for you. But definitely the odds are against you for having your home burglarized. You know, about 6 years ago, we had our home broken into, and it's a traumatic experience for everyone. But one of the things that I really wanted to bring to you, especially with the Survival Channel, is that burglaries are going to increase as the economy, as civil unrest, natural disasters, those kind of things, and your supplies and your livelihood could be in jeopardy. We're going to talk about some statistics. We're going to talk about how you know if your home is being cased by burglars. And also we're going to look at some different things that you could do to prevent it. According to authorities, 87% of burglaries could be prevented if certain measures are taken. July and August are when most burglaries happen. Of course, during the holidays as well. That's a time where people know that you're getting new stuff, and a lot of people are getting expensive gifts. 28% of burglaries happen when people are actually at home. 13% of burglars are arrested. So the chances of them burglarizing a place and getting away with it is great. For us, the guy cut himself on the way out the window, and we actually had the DNA sample, and we were able to track him down, and they arrested him. So, you know, definitely it's unusual for them to be caught, and so if the risk is low, they're really out to do it over and over. The average time for a burglar to be in your home is about 10 minutes. Doesn't take long. 60% of the burglars will go straight to the master bedroom because that's where a lot of valuables are kept. It used to be traditionally that burglars would kind of avoid going into children's rooms, but now that we have these really cool game systems, that's definitely a place they like to go to. And guys, only 17% of homes have a home security system, and that's one of the things I highly recommend right up front. Doesn't mean that they're not going to break into your home because of a security system, but they'll usually look for a home without one instead. Now, 34% of burglars come right through the front door. 23% come through a first-story window, and 22% go to a back door. 9% through a garage, 4% through your basement, and then only 2% try a second-story window. Now, there are 10 things that indicate that your house is being cased. First thing is, if you see unusual cars driving slowly through the neighborhood or people walking on foot and they may pause in front of your house, if they take a picture of your home, the odds are even greater. And so they're kind of casing things out. If you've seen Home Alone, you know how they operated with a van and went through the neighborhoods looking for the house that they thought would be great to hit. Another thing is doors that have been jimmied or been messed with, locks that you see marks on them or the lock is broken. Then also if there's tape over the lock, they know that no one has been home for a while, and so they kind of test that. Also leaving flyers on the door. If you're not picking those flyers up, it probably means that you're not at home. And again, guys, they really want to hit those times where people aren't at home. In fact, the high times for burglaries are between 10 a.m. and about 3 p.m. when people are typically at work. Now, if your dog goes missing, that's one thing that could be a sign. A lot of times burglars like to go ahead and get rid of the dog. There's no warning. One thing they'll also do is poison the dog. If it's in a fence and they can't quite get to it, they'll feed it some food with poison in it or drugs to be able to give them time to get in. Also, trash, if it's missing. That's one thing. They like to go through the trash, want to see what you have, and maybe even bank statements or receipts for really high dollar items. Now, while burglars are purported to be dumb, many of them are very sophisticated, and a lot of times they'll actually leave marks on the house. As they're casing different homes, they can do certain marks, and it indicates what's going on in the house, if it's something they want to hit, if it's something that they don't want to hit. And so it's definitely something to look for. Here's a chart of just showing some of these marks, and these have been taken from places all over the world where people are using the system. If you have a broken window, that's another way that burglars test alarm systems. And again, there's only 17% that have them, but they'll throw something into a glass and get it to break and to see if it'll set off an alarm. Many times we just think it's the kids playing around or a limb or something happened, but definitely it's something to be aware of. Also, if you have gas that's been stolen out of your vehicle, sometimes you may get in it, you think I just filled it up and there's a considerable amount of gas missing. That's definitely a sign that someone's messing around your house and you could be a target for a burglar. Now, things to do to harden your house. Well, number one is getting a good security system. You can get a monthly security system. You can get a do-it-yourself. There's a lot of options out there because there are a lot of break-ins. Or one that's being monitored, and that's one that we have. I mean, if we don't call in once we set the alarm off and let them know, they're going to send authorities out. And so that is a great deterrent. Number two, having security lights around your house. And you know, that illuminates the dark. It keeps people at bay. They're trying to stay hidden. So keeping security lights. Of course, considering that most break-ins happen during the day, that's not necessarily a factor, but it could be, especially if your family's at home. Now, keeping your yard tidy and keeping your home looking like someone's there, that's definitely a good sign. You know, typically people aren't going to break in if they know someone's at home. And so making sure that the yard is clean, making sure that the mail has been taken out of the box if you're away. A lot of times when people are gone, they just let the mail pile up. You can also call your post office and just tell them, hey, wait and deliver later. And of course, packages on the door are the same thing. Also, again, for your trash, make sure you shred important papers. But one thing that's really important is if you get a high-ticket item, maybe it's a brand new TV, game system, or, you know, just a big box that they can identify as something that would be expensive. You don't want to leave it out for burglars to see. Over the holidays, I was up at my brother and sister-in-law's house, and as we were leaving, I noticed that my sister-in-law had gotten a big Apple monitor. It was huge. And the box was out there in front of the trash, just sitting there. And I immediately got out, went, and moved the box around the back. And so anything you can do to keep people from, you know, making your home look like a target. And that's what you don't want to do. And guys, when you're getting ready to go on vacation, don't get on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, or whatever and announce it and let people know where you're going. And then while you're gone, don't put pictures on your Facebook and show all the great times you're having, because it does signal people to be able that you're not at home and that, you know, it makes a good target. A good friend of mine just recently, he had a family member that actually broke into their home because they knew that they were out of town because they put it on Facebook. And of course they were caught later, but you don't know who might be in your circle of friends that may target your home. Now, one important thing, guys, is to lock your doors and windows. 30% of burglaries occur right through an unlocked door or unlocked window. So that's a really simple one, but it's something that some people just don't think about. Just make sure you lock your doors and windows. Guys, make sure you hide your valuables. If you leave a laptop sitting out on your kitchen table, if you have a TV that's broad and big right there in the living room, having shades pulled, having your windows covered, or just putting away the things that you can, because you don't want to make it to where they can look through and say, yes, that is something that I want. Also, while you're gone, turn on the radio, let it play, turn on the TV, have some noise inside the house, and that will also alert burglars that someone may be at home. Also, spare keys. A lot of times we have places that we keep spare keys. Burglars know those places. They know where to look, they know what they're to look for. And so you may think it's really smart, but they've already thought about it. And guys, get to know your neighbors, and they'll watch your place for you. Have someone come, a family friend or someone you know, to come by, pick up the mail, make sure that packages aren't laying out, make sure that, you know, flyers aren't left on the door, and it gives the appearance that someone's there. You could even have a friend to park a car there while you're gone, so at least it'll look like that there's somebody there. Having lights that are set on timers, that's a great way to do it. And, you know, again, having those security lights ready to go, especially in the dark, it illuminates and people tend to leave those areas. Now, all those things being said, guys, we've seen it a number of times where people are home and the burglars or the home invaders know they're home and they don't care. And so we're going to address that in a little bit later video. But these are just some ideas to, number one, know what's going on around you, because to be forewarned is to be forearmed. And then some things you can do, again, just to keep it at a minimum. You can't always keep burglars out, but you can do quite a bit to keep them from being effective. And guys, if you're serious about prepping and survival, check out Survival Dispatch Insider. It's one of the best resources on the web, has a lot of the top leading names in the survival world that come together. We upload one video a week that's exclusive to the Insider. I'll have a link down below in the description. Check it out. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. Now, July and August are the high spots for burglaries. That's when most, a lot of times people, when they're gone, they just let the mail. And so that's one thing that's really important, just to be able to